Good afternoon, everyone. So I hope the audio and video is clear for all. Let's start the section. So if is there any issue with the audio or video, please let me know. We'll check on that. So let's start discussing the 2020 paper in detail. So when it comes to the last day, Virendra sir has discussed the first paper, paper B part of 2020 June CSIR NET examination. So today we'll be discussing about the 2020 NET examination, uh, part C part. So as you know, here we KP classes we discuss about we uh, take care about the geology competitive exams. My name is Rupu Raju. So NET examination will be hopefully will be conducting on 8th of June. So everybody might be everybody might be uh, preparing for the in the last moment of preparation. I have the PDF with me. Monica, if we'll share that with you if you contact us. All the details of our number and everything is given in the WhatsApp description. Please contact us in the WhatsApp. We'll share the paper and everything with you guys for in detail if you want. So let's start the discussion of Part C paper itself. So when it comes to the Part C section, this 2020 year question, while I was going through this paper, I understood one thing that very like there are so many questions that do repeated from 2020 paper. Questions were repeated in 2022 section. Like exact same questions were asked. So, for example, there is a question of polymorph over here, and in 2022 question paper also there is a question about polymorph. So the you will understand that this is one important thing about discussing the previous year question. While whenever you discuss about the previous year question, we'll get an idea about the topics they ask about, the topics from which they repeatedly ask, and the important portions, etc. So this is why I always recommend the students to solve the previous year questions, and whatever doubts you have, you can discuss that with me or any faculty over here in the KP classes will help you out in clearing the doubts. So let's continue with the discussion. So part C first question was about the sense of shear plane, SOS plane is defined by which one of the following combination. Sense of shear plane is defined by, so here they have asked about foliation and lineation stretch. So this question is actually very easy. If you know what is foliation and what is lineation means, you can identify, you can answer the question well clearly. So this is what is foliation means. So the sense of shear or the direction of movement. You know, foliation takes place when sigma 1 is greater than sigma 2, which is equal to sigma 3, almost equal to sigma 3. That is the condition of foliation to takes place. Flattening of a planar formation takes place. The sides will look bit, all the sides will be different, stretched apart and everything. So whenever foliation takes place, the SOS, this is the sense of shear or the direction of applied stress, will be perpendicular to the plane of foliation. That is visible from the same picture over here. You look at the lineation part wherever the stretching is taking place. So over here you can see that this lineation that is taking place is parallel to the sense of shear. So in the question they have asked, this much only, sense of shear plane is defined by which one of the following combination. SOS plane is parallel to foliation. No, it is perpendicular to foliation. SOS plane is perpendicular to foliation and parallel to stretching lineation. Yes. So this is the right answer. Okay. So both foliation and stretching linear are parallel. No. Foliation and stretching lineations are perpendicular. No. So answer is this B option is the right answer. Okay, so whenever you get a question, don't get confused by the letters. If you don't know what is the sense of shear or like any doubt, just think what would be the sense of shear means in whichever direction the shear has happened. So for whenever it is foliation, it should be perpendicular to the foliation. When it is lineation, it should be parallel. Yes, Akash, the answer is B. Good. Chalo, let's go to the next question. The question number 72 is about match the following over here. So in this match the following, you have to think about the deformation setting and the particular structure is what they have asked about. So you can see over here the convergent, divergent, strike slip, transpression and strike slip, transtension, tulip structure, ramp and decline, metamorphic core complex, palm tree structure. These are the terminologies in 2023, 2022-2021 year question paper. There were questions about transpression and transtension part. So we know that these two terminologies are very important. Transpression, transtension, strike slip holes are very important. And you should have an idea about what is flower structure. Tulip structure and palm tree structures are coming under the flower structure terminology. These are the first two things, the flower structure terminology over here. Positive flowers structure means that is the palm tree structure, which is associated with transpression. Transpression means wherever there is a slight extension that takes place, that is what is called as transpressional. Predominantly reverse is what is transpressional. When it is a transtensional situation, it causes formation of the displacement. It will be in the normal slip situation in the cross-sectional view, and that is what causes formation of the negative flower structure, or it is called as the tulip structure. So this negative flower structure is associated with normal faulting, or it is called associated with transtensional environment, and that is negative one is called flower structure is the tulip structure. When it is transpressional situation, that is causing predominantly reverse for strip over there, and that causes formation of a positive flower structure or palm tree structure. So these two are the first options. So over here you can see strike slip transpression and the strike slip transtension are there. So obviously strike slip transpression will be palm tree structure. Strike slip transtension is associated with tulip structure. So D is P and C is S. So if you simply know those two options, you will get the answer as B. There is no more particular question. This is the only option that has C as S and D as P. Now the other two term is convergent and divergent terminology. Convergent is ramp and decline, and divergent is metamorphic core complex. That also you can see over here in this particular picture over here. When it what is metamorphic core complex? Whenever there is a divergent movement that takes place, it causes the formation of whenever the continental crust undergo divergent movement, the exposure of deep crust part happens, and this exposure of deep crust is what we call as core complex, metamorphic core complexes. So that is very important, very detailed topic that we discuss in the geotectonics part and also in the metamorphic petrology. So we do discuss this in the class. Whoever have doubt, you can contact me. So that is the metamorphic core complex is associated with divergent deformation setting. Convergent deformation setting is what causes formation of ramp structure, which is mentioned over here. Trailing syncline, trailing anticline, leading anticline, leading syncline. These are all different portions of ramp. This is flat over here. the hanging wall flat, footwall ramp terminologies. Okay, which is associated with fault, bend, fold is what is shown over here. We discussed this in structural geology. Okay, so the answer is B. Next question. Coulomb's law of failure, which differs from Bayerle's law of failure in which one of the listed characteristic? Answer is it is applicable only for intact homogeneous rock. This is actually, we can say, it is associated with the rock mechanics. So every year from rock mechanics portion, maximum two questions do come from that section. So which is not very important, but you can have an idea about the basic part of the, have a revision of a basic part of the rock mechanics section, which is, we discuss mainly rock mechanics topics will be discussed along with structural geology topics, or some of the, or an economic part also we include the rock mechanics portion, or mainly associated with structural geology only we'll discuss the rock mechanics part. Next question is, okay, this set of question, this is actually very this was a very common type of question till this particular year, till this particular 2020 June. This question was very common actually. So what they they used to discuss this kind of question every year. There will be one question from sequence stratigraphy, one or two questions from sequence stratigraphy, and they will link the sequence stratigraphy questions with the foraminifera. So this is a very common type of, this was a very common type of question. Multiple times they have repeated in the same way. But after 2020, they stopped asking questions, much questions from sequence stratigraphy. So we don't know, they can continue asking about sequence stratigraphy questions, so they can stop asking about sequence stratigraphy part. So over here you can see this question is very simple actually. Look at the question over here. Following assemblage of foraminifera are recorded from bottom to top of a stratigraphic succession. So of a stratigraphic succession, bottom to top. Bottom part is Trochamina, Ammobaculites, Miliamina. All these are the foraminifera in the bottommost layer. On the top, next layer it is Quinquilloculina, ammonia, sibicides. Then the next layer consists of eponites, lenticulina, textularia. Then the next one consists of uvigerina, volumina, and globorotalia. This is the succession. Bottommost layer consists of trochamina, and the topmost layer consists of uvigerina. Bottom to top of a stratigraphic succession, and the foraminiferas associated with each stratigraphic succession is mentioned over here. You have to find out whether this stratigraphic succession represent an LST, HST, TST, or FSST. So for this, for answering this particular question, you should have an idea about what is TST, the particular para sequence associated with low stand system tract, high stand system tract, transgressive system tract, and falling stage system tract. The there are three different types of parasequence: progradational parasequence, retrogradational parasequence, and aggradational parasequence. The progradational parasequence means when the rate of deposition is greater than rate of accommodation, progradational sequence happens. It prograde further towards the ocean. That is progradational parasequence. Retrogradational parasequence takes place when rate of deposition is less than rate of accommodation. In that particular situation, the landward deposition will happen. That is retrogradational parasequence. So retrogradational parasequence is associated with TST. Then aggradational parasequence happens when rate of deposition is equal to rate of accommodation. We discuss all these topics associated with sequence stratigraphy. After sedimentology, we usually have this sequence stratigraphy lecture. So all these topics in detail we have discussed. please go and revise the sequence stratigraphy topic. They may not ask a question like this linked together question, because we have not seen a question like this after 2020, but they can ask from this year also. They can ask. There is no guarantee. Before 2020, every year there would be a question linking between foraminifera and the sequence stratigraphy system tracks. So over here you can see that how to answer this. You should have an idea about foraminifera, in the different how foraminifera ecology is. That is very important. The here you can see in this particular figure, this is about the benthic foraminifera ecology is what is defined over here. Benthic foraminifera depth zonation is what is defined over here. So you can see this is marsh area, that means land area over here, inner neritic, middle neritic, outer neritic, upper bathyal level. So over here, see, Melamina, Trochamia, these are shallow water level foraminiferas, benthic foraminifera which live in the shallow water level. Whereas when you come over here, this ammonia, Elphidium, Bigerina, Nonionella, all these things are much more deeper shelf species foraminiferas. Much more deeper level, deep ocean species organism foraminiferas are Uvigerina, Siphonina, Bulimina, Robulus, Valvulinera. All these things are deep water foraminifera. So this picture is actually very important. We'll give you complete details about the benthic foraminifera zonation or their ecology. So this, you have to remember the foraminifera name and in which particular depth they live. That is important. Now you have an idea that Trochamia and Melamina are shallow water organisms. Uvigerina is a deep water form. Now come back to the question paper. See, Uvigerina, which is a deep facies, deep water organism, is seen on the top layer of the stratigraphic succession, whereas Trochamia and Melamia, which is a shallow water species, lives shown in the bottom of the succession. This means the parasequence was having a deepening upward facies, right? Deep water deposition is on the top of the shallow water facies. That means there is a deepening upward facies change takes place. Where do we get deepening upward facies change? In the retrogradational parasequence. When do we have retrogradational parasequence formation takes place? We learned in the class that retrogradational parasequence is associated with transgressive. I hope you guys know transgressive system tract. So the answer is C. Akash, is it clear now? Uh, yeah, I will try to use both Hindi and English, because actually I am not very comfortable with Hindi. I may come up with some grammatical error and mistakes. That's why I don't use Hindi. So I hope you understand. If I am very fast, you can tell me. I will slow down and it will be easier for you to understand. So over here, this portion is about sequence stratigraphy and the foraminifera in detail. So you have to have an idea about the foraminifera, benthic foraminifera ecology. Their zonation is very important, and also you have to have an idea about the different parasequences. What is retrogradational parasequence? What is progradational parasequence? What happens in when transgressive system tract takes place? What happens in a high stand system tract? So you should have an idea about all these terminologies in detail. So I hope it's clear for everyone. So answer will be TST, transgressive system tract. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Which one of the following statement is correct? So this is a sedimentary petrology, sedimentary structure related question. Among the following statement, which one is correct? So lodcast forms by erosional processes. What is load cast? From the, okay, we can divide the sedimentary structures into different types like syn depositional, pre-depositional and post-depositional sedimentary structure, or erosional sedimentary structure, depositional sedimentary structure, and deformational sedimentary structure. Load cast is actually a post-depositional sedimentary structure or a deformational sedimentary structure. After the deposition of sedimentary rock, because of any change in the density, it causes formation of a structure, and that is what we call as load cast. Because of a sandstone depositing on top of a shale. So this kind of density variation is what causes formation of a load cast. So load cast is not an erosional, does not form by an erosional process. So the answer is not A. Come back to the option B section. Groove marks represent deformational feature. No, groove mark is actually an erosional sedimentary structure. Before the deposition of a sedimentary rock, because of flowing water, the tools present in the water, or because of the flow of water, the groove marks develop on the channel bottom, and that's later on deposition takes place on top of groove mark. Groove mark is a sole mark sedimentary structure. So it is not a deformational feature. Then option C, bounce mark occurs at the top of a sandstone bed. No, bounce mark is also a sole mark, which is actually a tool mark, an erosional sedimentary structure, pre-depositional structure, which is occur at the bottom of a sandstone bed. So this bounce mark, any tool mark is used to identify the top bottom layer of the bed. It always signifies or gives the idea of top and bottom. If there is a tool mark, that means that is the bottom of the sandstone bed. Option D, current crescent forms against an obstacle. Yes, that is the actual answer over here. This is the current crescent. Here you can see there is an obstacle present over here. And this obstacle is what is causes formation of the current crescent formation. That is because of the obstacle present. Okay. So this answer is option D. 300 80243730. This is the answer. Next question. Grain supported limestone containing 10% lime mud, and the next one, I hope the video is clear for everyone. So let's continue the section. So grain supported limestone containing waxstone, floatstone. These are the packstone, grainstone, waxstone, and floatstone. These are the four different options. A grain supported limestone containing around 10% of lime mud is known as dash. This is the question. Grain supported. I hope in between I felt like it's post. Okay. Grain supported limestone containing around 10% of lime mud is known as what? So this is Dunham's classification of limestone. So before 2020, in every year there would be a question from Dunham's classification actually. So there is a huge variation we can say happened after 2020. So this is the 2020 paper. You can see the major difference, but not very huge difference because, as I said, same type of question is seen in 2022 paper. So when it comes to the Dunham classification over here, they have asked about the 10% grain supported limestone containing around 10% of mud. So Dunham classification is boundstone, grainstone, packstone, stone, and mudstone. If it is mud stud supported, those are mudstone and stone. Grain supported ones are packstone and grainstone. In the mudstone, there is less than 10% of grain, and in stone, they have more than 10% of grain, but both of them are mud supported. But in the question, they have asked about grain supported with 10% of mud. So it is not stone and mudstone. Then the next one is packstone and grainstone. Packstone is grain supported, but packstone consists of less than 10% of grain, more than 10 percentage of more, lakhs mud over here in the grainstone. Less than 10% of mud is what is there in the grainstone. So the answer is Paxton, which is of grain supported limestone, contains around 10% of mud. So the answer is Paxton. A is the answer. Next question. Reaction, consider the following okay, this is a thermobarometric reaction. This is actually, I would say, an easy question if you know what is thermobarometry in metamorphic petrology. So you can see it is orthoclase plus paragonate gives albite plus muscovite. That is the reaction that is shown over here. So this reaction A itself is a thermometer, and the second reaction is an example of barometer. So please revise the metamorphic petrology reaction, the thermobarometer portion. You can use the winter textbook for that, or if you have made a notes, then that would be great. If you doesn't have a, if you don't have a note on thermobarometry, use the winter textbook for the details of thermobarometry in detail, which is a huge section. So won't be able to discuss that in few seconds. Next one. Which one of the following texture explicitly form during the decompression stage of metamorphic pressure temperature path? Answer is corona texture, not granoblastic texture, not decompression stage means that is associated with the when the pressure temperature change decreases. That is what causes in the PTT path when the curve is in this particular way with the when it changes both pressure and temperature decreases, it causes the decompression. So that path is called as, or that curve side is called as decompression stage. During the decompression stage, this corona structure, what is corona? Corona structure is associated with reaction rim. The zonation on, or not zonation, we can say it is the reaction rim actually. So reaction rim means it involves the reaction between minerals when at their boundary during the decompression stage. At the boundary between two different minerals, it causes a reaction, and that is what result in the partial replacement of maybe one or both minerals adjacent to their contact, and that causes formation of a reaction rim. And if this rim is completely around a mineral, we call that as a corona texture. And this corona is very common in the decompression scenarios. It is very common. So decompression stage of metamorphic PT path, the corona texture is what we get. Which is very common during the decompression situation. Next question over here. So I hope all the terms are clear for everyone. Let's continue. Next topic. Choose the correct sequence of mineral that are usually crystallized from the cooling of magma. Crystallized from the cooling of magma. When it comes to the cooling of magma, so this is actually the Bowen's reaction series that is mentioned over here. Nothing much. Bowen's reaction series. In the Bowen's reaction series, we know that the first, when the cooling of magma happened, the first mineral to crystallize is actually olivine. Then from there, clinopyroxene forms. So I guess I have the picture of Bowen's reaction. Yeah. Olivine, orthopyroxene, clinopyroxene, amphibole, biotite, and alkali feldspar. The same order is what is shown over here in this particular option. You can see if you know what is olivine, what is orthopyroxene, tremolite, and amphibole is shown over here. So the answer is this. Sorry, this one. 315 is the answer. Mg2Si O4 is olivine. Then orthopyroxene Mg2Si2O6. Then calcium magnesium Si8O2. This is over here is a tremolite amphibole. Then comes the mica, biotite mica over here, and this is the orthoclase. So this is the order of Bowen's reaction. We see this, and we know we learned Bowen's reaction series from our bachelors, right? BSc, from BSc we are learning Bowen's reaction series. You just need to remember the mineral composition. That's it. That's it. No, nothing much is difficult over here. Now the next question is, okay, which one of the following mineral pairs are not polymorph? So we know what is polymorphs are. Polymorphs means they are of different crystal structure but with same composition. For example, calcite and aragonite. So here they have asked which one is not a polymorph. Quartz mogonite, chrysolite, lysodite, antis, brookite, all these are polymorphs. They have different crystal structure but their composition is the same. But when you look at marcasite and chalcopyrite, marcasite is FeS2. Whereas chalcopyrite is CuFeS2, copper, iron, sulfate. So CuFeS2. So marcasite and chalcopyrite are entirely different composition. So these are not a polymorph. So the same kind of question asked in the 2022 paper, I guess, yeah, 21, I don't remember. They have asked about polymorphs. Okay. So you have to have an idea about the different polymorphs, examples and everything. Please have an idea about that. Next question. A homogeneous liquid. Okay, this is actually the binary system of question associated with igneous petrology. A homogeneous liquid with binary component FeO and SiO2 cools at a constant pressure to a temperature at which it unmixes to form two liquids of different composition on further cooling to the complete equilibrium crystallization. What happens on further cooling to the complete equilibrium crystallization? Both there would be phyllite and silica mineral in the eutectic proportion, right? In eutectic proportion, both phyllite and silica. So the answer will be C. There would be phyllite and silica. So please revise the binary system, the phosphate phyllite system, so the eutectic system, peritectic system, solid solution system. All these things are very important. They usually ask from binary system. Very rarely they ask from ternary system actually. So understand the binary system, revise that section again. Then the next one, in an unconfined coastal aquifer, the depth of groundwater table in a well is 1 meter. Well is situated at an elevation of 2 meter above the mean sea level. What should be the depth of freshwater saline water interface below the groundwater surface? Okay, so this question is from Geiben-Herzberg relation. So again, Geiben-Herzberg relation was one of the very important topic for NET examination for 2020 or during 2020. After 2020, they don't ask much about the Geiben-Herzberg relation. So this question, you should know the relationship between the seawater in the freshwater interface, which is Z is equal to the depth of seawater interface. This Z value is equal to 40 into H, the elevation of water table from the sea level. So from here, in an unconfined coastal aquifer, the depth of groundwater table in a well is 1 meter. That is no use of that. It is situated at an elevation of 2 meter above the mean sea level. So we know this H is 2 meter. You have to calculate Z, and Z is equal to 40 H. That is the relationship between Z and the seawater situation, seawater saline interface. So Geiben-Herzberg relationship is important. Have an idea about what is Geiben-Herzberg relationship and the value. What should be the depth of freshwater saline water interface below the ground surface? From the ground surface, what is the depth? That is what you have to find out. Excuse me. Okay. Now the next question. Depleted mantle model age of a rock as calculated using samarium neodymium systematics is 2.5 GA giga annum. It means that a depleted mantle age has by using the SMND systematics, it shows that the age of depleted mantle model of a rock, age of a rock is 2.5 GA. So what does that means? So it means that the isotopic ratio 143 Nd by 144 Nd in a source of this rock at 2.5 GA were the same as the depleted mantle at that particular time. We have discussed in the class in detail about the depleted mantle model, age of rock, the complete evolution of Earth in detail, the in geochemistry section. So please go revise about the topics in detail. These kind of questions were repeatedly asked before 2020. After 2020, they don't ask much about the geochemistry detail part. But in GSI, you will get questions like this in GSI paper. So we not sure whether they will ask these kind of questions this year or not. But better you revise the section. So the answer is A. Now next one, paired metamorphic belt which juxtapose high pressure, low temperature and low pressure, high temperature metamorphic belts are typically associated with. Okay, so this is when while discussing the metamorphic petrology, we saw the different types of metamorphism in the introductory chapter itself. We saw the paired metamorphic belt in detail. So there I have mentioned about how the examples of paired metamorphic belt and where they are associated with the convergent plate margin and which one is high pressure by high HP, high pressure by low temperature and low pressure by high temperature belts and everything. So the answer is convergent plate margin. Next question. Okay, stratigraphic unit and their age. A direct question. Dosa Woolite, Karai Shale, Malari Formation, Lakadong Limestone. So you have to have an idea. We know like Lakadong Limestone is a very important term which is seen in the Paleogene period. Then Malari Formation is Triassic. Karai shale is associated with Cretaceous. Dosa Woolite is associated with Jurassic period. So A is G, then B is F, right? Karai shale. So answer is B. This is the option. Very direct question. Porphyry type copper deposits are formed in which of the following tectonic setting? Those are associated with magmatic arc deposit, right? Copper deposits are associated with porphyry copper type copper deposits are associated with magmatic arc. So ocean, okay, here both ocean island arc and continental arc, both of them are magmatic arc. So I guess the marks were given to both of the answers actually. Both of them were the answers. B and C or B and D options, both of them are actually answers. So if you get a question like this which is confusing, if you feel like both the answers are right, attempt one answer, then they may cancel the question or they will give you mark if you have attempted any one of the right answer. Sometimes mistakes do happen, so always whenever the answer key comes, the before the official answer key, they'll come up with the answer key and you have to review the answer key. If you feel like if there is any mistake, you have to mention that there will be a portal for that particular section. So for today, let's wind up today from this question. Next set of part C. The rest of the question will be discussed tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So please subscribe our YouTube channel so that you will get the notification of the particular YouTube live that we are going to conduct, or any videos that we are uploading will be obtained for you. So please subscribe to our channel. We have our YouTube. Same way, there is Instagram and Facebook channels are also there. You can follow us over there to get updated with our courses, or updated with geology related materials that we free materials that we upload over there. Any doubts regarding anything, you can contact us. There is a trial section form given in the description box. You can use the link and fill that form if you require a trial section, or if you want have any details about our coaching institute. You can we'll contact you. Please fill the form. We'll contact back to you with the details that you provided over there. So thank you so much. We'll get back to you in the next live section. Thank you.